Okay, thank you, Chris. Next, we'll have David Wheeler. David.
Thank you very much. Good to be with you this afternoon. It's really a tremendous opportunity to run for public office. I responded to a article in the Duluth News Tribune back in the early 90s when they said, well, we need to have good people on the school board and the city council. We hope some people will apply for those positions. I did so. After I had taken a leadership program at Leadership Duluth, and I ran and won a city council position as a ward. It was actually called a district. And I had a great time serving the citizens of Duluth. I was chair of the finance committee. I was placed on DEDA, the Duluth Economic Development Authority. I led environmental initiatives that prevented runoff into Lake Superior of toxic chemicals. I did traffic calming things. But I think what I'm most proud of is that we passed the Human Rights Commission over the veto of a conservative Christian mayor. So for over 25 years, I have fought for rights for all people. I come from a family that has had Indigenous, Black, and other people of color for 40 some years. People look at me and they say, well, you know, this is an old white guy. Well, this old white guy has lived a lot and knows a lot and has actually governed before. And I had to work with people who were really difficult to work with, sort of dysfunctional, sort of like what our city council is right now, a council that can't seem to agree on things. I was ready after 12 years. I've been elected 3 times citywide with ranked choice voting, and I got first place votes, second place votes, and third place votes. And that's why I won, because I got a whole variety of votes from a whole bunch of people. And I was ready to step aside, and last year happened. The COVID lockdown, the murder of George Floyd, and what I saw as a complete abdication of responsibility by the city council. They fought with each other. They didn't know how to solve problems. They disrespected Rondo, who is probably the best chief for this position at this time. Arredondo is a remarkable person. I also have worked with everybody in city government for a dozen years. I know the people who run the departments. I've worked under 3 mayors. I've worked with city council members for a dozen years. I have experience and background, and one of the biggest problems right now isn't a whole bunch of promises that everybody can make, and I agree with many of them. Some I don't, but that's fine. The biggest problem is a dysfunctional city council that does not know how to do their work. They don't have a clue how to solve problems. They don't know how to govern. They have certain issues and constituencies that they can satisfy, but they don't know how to satisfy the city of Minneapolis. Ward 10 needs somebody who can provide leadership, real leadership, and who knows something about governing. We are desperately in need of that. So I come as somebody who has worked in the private sector. I have worked in the public sector. I've had almost 16 years of experience in elective office. I have worked in the nonprofit sector, where I was a director and executive director of several nonprofits. And I've worked in the 4th sector of our society, the faith sector, which is about 10 to 12% of our economy. All of those groups need to work together to solve our problems around violence and public safety. It isn't going to come just from government. It's going to come from neighborhoods. It's going to come from church groups. It's going to come from nonprofits. It's going to come from businesses. They all have to partner together. I've worked in all 4 of those sectors. I'm the only candidate who's done that. I'm the only one who's actually been a city council member. And I'm inviting you to give me a first place vote, a second place vote, or even a third place vote, because they're all important. And so are you. Thank you.